Hey there, guys. I'm so excited to be with you today. I asked Michelle to jump in here with me and talk all about the biggest mistake that coaches find when it comes to email marketing. I want you to think first about the freebies that you have. Hopefully, you do have a freebie. You have it on the front of your site, you have it on a free tool page. And I want you to think about how much time you've spent to put this freebie together. How much of your energy has gone into this freebie, personalizing it, making it look beautiful. One of the biggest mistakes we see are coaches not following up. And this is an important thing. When you think about that person opting in, they're opting in to get that gift, but you end up missing out on nurturing that relationship in the follow-up emails. So today we're going to talk about follow-up emails, also the difference between an indoctrination series and a follow-up email. So Michelle, can you tell me, from being a copywriter and seeing so many coaches struggle in this one area, what do you think is the biggest solution for that coach that says, I don't even know what to say in these emails?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is to, number one, commit to following up. A lot of times coaches will not follow up. They'll just send like a welcome email or something like that initial email, just, when someone downloads a freebie
Right.
or opts into their newsletter list. And really, having an indoctrination email series set up on the back end of that initial freebie that someone usually opts in. It's like the first thing that they opt in for. It's your signature
Right.
freebie. And then after that, having separate nurture email series that are set up on other opt-ins that you have. So you're not using the same series, you're really diversifying. And within the components of those emails, it's set up differently for like indoctrination versus nurture. But you also want to make sure that you are introducing who you are. If this is a person who's never met you,
Right.
at all and never spoken to you, and they just browsed upon your website, they need to know who you are, what you do, how you help people. They need proof. They need more nurturing that you know what you're talking about. So you'll want to share some of your top blogs or any speaking events that you've done and maybe the recordings available or any type of content that you can give them.
Any type of nurturing content throughout
Yeah.
this email interaction to get them to be closer to going from a prospect to a paying client.
Exactly. And really developing that trust in the relationship where they can trust that you're an expert, that you do know what you're talking about, and also that you care. So you should share
Right.
your story. You should share like why you got into this and your mission
Share a
now.
case study or a testimonial.
Exactly. Definitely sharing proof of what you've done and who you work with before jumping right into trying to get them to book a call with you or to send a link to one of your work with me page or one of your programs. A lot of times coaches will make that mistake of thinking, oh, well, someone opt in and now I'm going to start selling them my program. And it doesn't really work like that. You have to warm the prospect up so that they're ready to buy. They're asking for it. Like you really, the best buyer is the one that's like, how can I work with you? Because you've just already convinced them so much that you're the best person for them to work with that could help them.
So on average, how many emails is great for an indoctrination series? And maybe we need to explain an indoctrination series. That indoctrination series is really introducing you to that potential client, taking them through a series of different emails that help to add value, but also show you as the expert. So what are typically the amount of emails?
Yeah. So you want at least a bare minimum, I would say, of 5 for like, and when you think of indoctrination, think of it as more of like an introduction series. It's really that email series that is on the back end of your signature freebie, or like, even if you don't have a freebie, some coaches don't have that. And so it's just like join my email list and get weekly emails from me or something like that. So it's that main, email, the primary email series. And that's usually at the bare minimum, I would say 3 at the bare minimum. And then you want at least 5. You could even go up, to 10 or, so, I mean, I've written email series where, nurture series were like 20 emails, they just really wanted to take them through this 90-day nurturing process before they started selling to them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it really depends on also what you're offering and how warmed up someone really needs to be. If you have higher end programs that cost a lot of money for them, someone's not just going to hop on your email list from a freebie and sign up for thousands of
And start
dollars.
buying, right, and start buying from you.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and which is a good point to bring up too, in those nurture emails, that's where it would be a great spot too, to like PS to something that's lower cost for them to take advantage of, to take that next step in the relationship, to buy something that's like a course that they can come in on cheap, or, a more affordable, like a
So
short.
instead of bringing them to a discovery call on like email 4 and 5, bringing
Yeah.
them to a PS of a low cost program.
Yes, absolutely. And you could even do that honestly in the PS of even a welcome email if it's something really low cost. If you have a low cost offer of, let's say, $27 and under, right? Usually sometimes people will put those on the front end of a funnel for a self-liquidating offer, but you can totally add something like that. I knew one coach who made like $20,000 a year on a $27 offer in her email
Wow.
series. So it's nothing that you're really hard selling. It's like, great, you've opted in, you got this, and now like this is something.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like such a small thing, but the people who really need it are the people who will buy.
And then what would you say is the difference between an indoctrination series to a follow-up series?
Yeah. So with the indoctrination series, you're really giving a general introduction to who you are, why you do what you do. And it's not as much nurturing as it would be on the back end of a certain, let's say, if it was like 5 ways to heal your gut or something, a freebie. Because your signature freebie is the one that they're usually opting in on your website from.
Yep.
So that's like, okay, so they're opting in on your website. They need to know who you are and all of that. Then you should have other freebies available, whether it could be a workshop, it could be any type of list builder. And then those specific nurture email series are less about trying to introduce your brand. And they're more about, this is your problem that you've been dealing with. This is why you downloaded this specific guide.
Right.
Here's some additional like value, so you want to give links to maybe some YouTube videos that you have, or
You could do an extra resource or a cheat sheet.
exactly. Yeah. So it's really, really nurturing them even more. And those are great to lead to like a discovery call or even like a low cost program or something, So really the differentiating factor is that the indoctrination series is more of that main primary welcome series of emails. And then with nurture email series, I mean, if you have 5 freebies, you should have 5 separate nurture email series.
Yeah.
And that's really how it should be, because you don't want someone to opt in for multiple things from you and get the same emails. Doesn't feel like it's a personal thing, communication.
What would you say on average for time that in between the emails? Would you say every other day or every day?
Yeah, I mean, I would say every 2 days, 2 to 3 days max. You really don't want to go over that, especially in those emails, because it's not like your weekly newsletter. I mean, this is something you want a lot of communication in the beginning of any relationship. It's kind of like going on a date with someone and then you don't hear from them for a week or two. I mean, it really just wouldn't work out well. So you really want to just say, like, it's like that check-in. It's just really growing and
Well, in
building.
email marketing, you and I were talking about list building the other day being like dating, but email marketing is the same thing. It's like each
Exactly.
one of those emails is a date with your potential client.
Yeah. And you don't want to have no communication because someone else is in their inbox, especially if someone is shopping around to solve a problem. They're looking and they're opting into different things that they think is going to help them. So if you're not in there keeping up communication with them, someone else will. And then you end up losing, a potential client that you could help.
And what are your favorite emails? What email would be for like a case study when you're doing a follow-up sequence?
Yeah, I think that it would be great to feature like your best client experience, someone who's had a great client experience with you and who had a result that you are basically promising to, in your signature program out there. So, if somebody was struggling with, let's say, hormones, they opted in for a hormone freebie, it would be great to have an email that has a case study of someone you worked with who came in with that hormone specific problem. They felt a certain way, they worked with you, then they started experiencing these results. And then something like that is great to lead to a discovery call or your work with me page or a hormone program. So you want everything to be really completely aligned in terms of topic. Like you wouldn't want someone to opt in for a gut freebie and then you have like a hormone email series, so you want to keep the message consistent and really connected to the people who are reading.
Do you think there's anything that we've missed in kind of talking about the follow-up sequences, the indoctrination, duration?
Yeah, if you have it set up, make sure that you revisit it often. Is it still relevant? Do you need to add anything? Could you update some testimonials?
Yeah.
Maybe there's room after it's been running for 6 months or so and you have more people that you've worked with. You can go in there and add a couple more case study emails and you can elongate that email series as well. So, really taking the opportunity to set it up, get it in automation. You have the done for you email series and don't hesitate. Definitely put them together and put them on there, because they always say the fortune is in the follow-up. So if you don't follow up, you are losing people.
Right. Well, you're losing that ability to build trust with that person, and the trust and the value are the only reasons that person's going to go and hire you.
Exactly.
So make sure you're following up. If you guys have any questions about our follow-up emails or our indoctrination series, please let us know. You can go to yourhealthcoachbiz.com, drop in a message there. We have them in a few different specific niches. But like Michelle said, make sure that you're following up. Just that welcome email, that first autoresponder, which is the email that they get right away when they opt in, is not enough. So don't make that mistake. Make sure that you are creating a really nice and beautiful experience for your client to get to know you, and then for them to go and hire you. All right, guys, it's been great to be with you for this short, quick little training, and we will talk to you soon. Take it easy. Bye, guys.
Talk soon.